All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. We are here for our first episode of the female male perspective. And with my co-host here, Eddie Cunningham, we are excited to get real, get raw, and down to the issues that people are facing today. Eddie, how are you?
Good. Actually doing really good. Appreciate the invite. Happy to be here. This is definitely going to be a unique experience for me. I've done quite a few podcasts, traveled and spoken at conferences. But this will be my first time being on a podcast on a pretty regular basis. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, we've come up with a ton of topics that we feel that people really want to get the female and male perspective. And I love your perspective on different issues and topics that people bring up on a regular basis. I mean, I've been watching you on Facebook for years, and you have this diplomatic way of saying things that nobody feels like they're under attack. And I appreciate that about you.
Okay, not everybody, because I'll be real. There's some people that want to feel attacked, and no matter what you say and how you say it, they're going to take it like they're being attacked. That was one of the cool things that I loved about yours and mine conversations over the last couple of years is, we're not just like shrinks with master's degrees and PhDs that are out there like talking about stuff we learned in a textbook. You and I have talked about relationships and breakups and divorces and kids, and like this is like real life for you and I. And I've always enjoyed our discussions about all that. So it's kind of cool to bring this out and start recording these episodes together.
Absolutely. And I am super excited about a lot of the topics that we've come up with. I mean, I don't think there's one topic that we've come up with that you or I have not been asked about by different people. And for whatever reason, people come to you and I to ask the craziest questions. They really do.
Because we've had the craziest lives. my mom once told me, she said, son, she goes, your life is just one of those kinds of lives you want to pull out a lawn chair and a margarita and watch. And I did when I did a dating profile. This is kind of funny. So I have mixed emotions when it comes to like dating apps and whatnot. So I've done that. I've tried them. I've tried lots of things. I've given up on dating. I've gotten back into it, whatever. But I was reading through everybody's dating apps, and I had a friend that was a female, and I got on with her because I wanted to see what are the guys doing, like my competition out there. What are the guys doing? I know that's going to be a whole episode that we're going to do, and I'm excited for that one.
Yes.
But everybody was like, "Hi, I'm Todd. Whatever, 38 years old. I've been in IT for 37 years, and I have 4 kids." And like, nobody's going to click on that profile. Todd might be a handsome dude. He might even be a great guy, but none of that came out in his profile. I'm goofy. I know when to be serious, but I love to have fun. So I did a 10 truths and 1 lie. And I had things like, was on X Factor, met Prince Harry, dove the Great Barrier Reef, wrestled a live mountain lion, served in the U.S. military, lived in Hawaii, was in the music industry, sung in front of 100,000 people, blah, 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 went on down. I said, okay, only one of these is a lie. And if you figure it out, you get a free sub. Oh, that was one of the truths, was that I own a Firehouse Subs. And it was fun because it was a way to brag about yourself without actually like bragging about yourself, but saying, here's some of the things I've done, mill through and see if you can figure out which one's the lie.
Which one was the lie?
I've never been to Australia. So I haven't dove the Great Barrier Reef yet. It's on my bucket list. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
But I've not done it yet. So, but it was a lot of fun, and it got interaction, and it was like not, because a lot of the times when we're trying to interact with each other, period, whether it's online or whether it's in person, we come forward with an agenda, either to achieve something or to avoid something. Mm-hmm. And when you can break through that and just open up to, hey, let's just have a conversation. Let's just talk. This is going to be real talk. You go a lot further. You're a lot more real. And I think that's what people jive with. And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to what you and I are doing, because you and I have always had that. We're not coming at each other for something or to avoid something. We just like, let me vent to you about what I'm going through. And you, same thing. Let me vent to you about what I'm going through. And we've had some great conversations with that. So I love this.
No, I agree. All right. So let's let everybody kind of know who we are. I'm going to ask you questions. And you're going to ask me questions. And you and I have both agreed that we're completely an open book in this. One thing that I know for sure is that you right now currently are single, which I know I'm going to get asked a lot about. So, because for whatever reason, man, you create this frenzy of women around you. So let's talk about that.
I'm just a chubby bald dude, and I don't understand. That was really weird. So I like to have fun. I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe I don't know, but I like to have fun because I know what you're going to bring up. You're going to bring up the bachelor auction from last night.
Oh, yes.
You got to talk about everything that happened before that this week too, as well.
All right, let's do it.
So my oldest son is getting married, and I've got my old wedding ring. I've been divorced about 5 years now. Mm-hmm. So I had my wedding ring just sitting in my jewelry box, and I decided to have it resized, kind of restored for my son. And so anyway, they put it out on the internet that I was going to be in this bachelor auction up in Wickenburg. And I'm not going to say I like to stir the pot, but sometimes I like to throw things out there and then just watch people react. And so I put a picture of the wedding ring, and it was actually my son's hand with the wedding ring on it. And I did, because you see all those posts of, so this just happened. And then there's a ring or an engagement ring or something. So I just put, so this just happened. And it was my son's hand with his ring because we'd gone to pick it up. And, but then if I hit enter down below and said the real story, which was gave my son my old wedding ring. But you had
but nobody read the rest of that post when they started posting.
No.
You created a frenzy.
And that was not my intention. I thought some people would laugh, but oh my goodness.
Katie and I, my publicist and I, we're sitting here and we're like watching the bing, 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 bing on your Facebook going, these women are crazy. And then your cousin is piping and going, calm down, ladies. He's not getting married, but you can buy him this week at this auction.
I love my cousin.
It was great publicity for this charity auction.
It really worked. We raised a lot of money. So for the total auction, they raised over $22,000 for the 3 separate charities that were being donated to up in Wickenburg. It was the Rancho Bar 7 was the name of the bar that was putting it on. The Flying E Ranch, which is a really cool dude ranch up in Wickenburg, was hosting the event there along with 96.3, the country station. Mm-hmm. Was an absolute blast. Everybody up there is just down home, good people. And yeah, I'll be honest, I'm still kind of in shock. Like I was expecting, people were joking, like, well, how much do you think you're going to go for? And I'm like, yeah, $32.50, $32.75 if we really push it, or if I unbutton a button. But yeah, I was genuinely expecting maybe $300 or $400 tops would be the average for each of the bachelors. So there was like 15 bachelors that offered themselves up. One guy, I love this guy. This guy comes out, he's probably in his early 70s. He comes out in his cowboy shirt, his cowboy hat, total rancher dude, wearing his chaps and kind of a very European bathing suit underneath. He actually went for like $1,800.
Really?
Yeah, it was the women.
Wow.
Yeah,
they were loving it.
It was a lot of fun. It really was.
All right, so let's talk about this. You sold last night for $3,700.
Yeah.
$3,700.
Again, I was in shock. Like, it was weird. So standing up on stage, the sun was over the wall and it was in my eyes. It was hard to see who was actually bidding. I could kind of see it. And the video's on Facebook. My buddy that was there actually did a Facebook Live thing during it.
I watched it.
Oh, did you see it?
Oh, yeah. You were bright red when you came off the stage. Like, your whole head was bright red.
I was expecting like $300 or $400 tops. Like, I was not, and I know it's for charity and whatnot, but there was 3 women that just, I don't know. Yeah, actually, Sherry, the one that actually won, she never put her hand down. She just left her card up. And the other women kept bidding and she just left her hand up. And I was like, I was blown away.
On the video, she did not even remember how much she paid for you. It was hilarious. They're like, you got him for how much? And somebody else had to say to her, 3,700.
Okay, well, I'm definitely
Like,
going to make it worth
you
it.
go, girl. I hope you feel like he's worth it. Like, you go, girl. So my question to you was last night, so what does she get for her $3,700? Like, well, a night with Ed? Like, what does that mean?
Well, so we were told, hey, you're committing to at least a 2-hour date with whoever purchases you and whatnot. And so that's kind of what I was expecting. But for $3,700, I promised her, I said, we're going to do something fun. So I don't want to say too much because she might see this and ruin the surprise, but I'm thinking spa day.
Okay.
Maybe very go to cool. There's I think it was the Elizabeth Arden over at the Wigwam would be great. Boulders has a really nice spa. Maybe just do a spa day and hang out and grab a nice dinner. And
you never know. I mean, she's a cute girl. She's a cute girl. And I'm thinking it's a good thing you read that Lou Paget book, just in case.
On the next episode of the Male.
So how did that go?
It makes me blush again. Yeah, that's going to be another one of my favorite episodes coming up. And it's real talk about sex and pleasure. And we're not just talking about like the physical side of it. We're talking about the mental, the emotional, and the physical side of it, and even the spiritual side of it.
Absolutely.
So that's another episode I'm looking forward to us doing. And again, yeah, that was one of my absolute favorite books when I was in my 20s, trying to figure out how does this marriage thing work? How does this physical side of it all come together? I actually give that book as a wedding gift to newlyweds, especially young newlyweds.
Yeah, because you recommended it and we're going to be discussing it, I actually ordered the book and it's sitting on my counter. And Jay was like, why did you order this book? And I looked at him and I was like, because Eddie thought you might want it.
Oh, don't be blaming me. No, he
knew I was kidding because I had my, yeah, okay, whatever. I said, because we're going to be discussing it on the podcast and I wanted to review it so that I know what we're talking about. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I'll probably take it when you're done.
Well,
I'm like, that would be good. You go ahead. What is the book called? What's the title of it?
How to Give Her Absolute Pleasure. Now it's I've actually recommended it to female clients who I've coached and whatnot to read it themselves. So it's not just a book about, I mean, let's just be real. It's not just like, hey, this is the clit, this is the vulva, this is how you touch it.
Right.
No, I mean, there's some of that in there, but most of it's about how do women think mentally about sex? How do you get them in the mood for sex? Because they're not like guys. I mean, guys, for the most part, we can just give us a dirty look and we're ready to go for the most part. But women, it takes a little bit. So the book goes into that. And actually there's women that don't even fully understand that either. And when they start having problems in their relationships and they're like, I can't figure out why I'm not turned on at all by him. I still think he's handsome. I still like being around him. I love hanging out with him. I'm just not turned on. That book has so many great answers in it about how you realize you work and your thought process can get in your way.
No, I'm really excited about that episode because I think that men and women have a lot of false ideas in their head about what the opposite sex wants. And I think that we'll be able to clear up some of those myths for people and maybe why they're not getting lucky as much as they would like to. Right?
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to switch gears for a minute.
Huh?
All right. I know something interesting about you, and I know that a lot of people know that you sing.
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
But what most people don't know is that at one point in your life, you were actually getting ready to sit down with Garth Brooks and really take your career to a different level. And that's pretty amazing because that means that you're actually really, really good.
I was at that point. Actually, I had worked really hard. It had been a dream of mine since I was 6 years old to do music. And one of the things I've always been really good at is networking. Because to be real with you, everything we want to accomplish on the planet has to do with relationships. It doesn't matter whether you're wanting to create wealth, whether you're wanting to create, happiness or do things. It's all about relationships and how we relate with each other. And you can only take yourself as far as you've gone. That's it. And without
Yep.
reaching outside of yourself for new knowledge and mentorship, you can't go further. You have to have that new knowledge and able to do that.